Hello guys, my name is Anna and I'm a Ukrainian. And I have decided I will vlog daily from my country Ukraine since the start of this awful war with Russia. And in my daily videos, I'm always glad to answer your questions, to provide you with the information that we Ukrainians consider important, and of course to clarify some aspects from our background, our culture, our language, or whatever interests you. And today I want to talk a little bit more about the so-called President Lukashenko, because he has become extremely active in the media recently, and it seems to me he demonstrates the change in his attitude to the military operation of Putin on the territory of Ukraine. Well, to start with, I will confess that for me, Belarus is definitely a part of this war, because lots of Ukrainian cities were shelled from the territory of Belarus. Lots of Russian missiles stand on the borders close to my region, because my region where I live borders Poland and Belarus. Of course, Belarus has given its territories to Russian soldiers. They use Belarusian infrastructure. And it goes without saying that Lukashenko blessed Putin's aggression towards Ukraine, or maybe he even did not have a choice, because Lukashenko's dictatorship is definitely dependent on the future presidency and well-being of Putin. I don't see Lukashenko separately, but Putin slowly annexed Belarus, and I do see the difference in attitudes between Russians and Belarusians, and it seems to me that Belarusian people are more against this war. Of course, many of them watch Russian propaganda, and perhaps Russian television is more popular than Belarusian, but still inside of the society in Belarus, there are more chances for healthy changes. And when I think of their last elections in 2020, where lots of people went out on the streets to support Tikhanovska, to support the change of the dictator. To tell you the truth, I don't know how, meet the bear. To tell you the truth, I don't know how much they are for Tikhanovska, but definitely they are against Lukashenko. And I think personally, I know that Tikhanovska is supported in the Western media, and I do like the idea of the change, but it seems to me she's not enough active in this situation. And there are reports of Belarusian people who destroy the railroads, who oppose the information from Russia, people who share photos, for example, of Russian soldiers who loot on the territory of Ukraine and then send back packages with these things from Belarusian post offices. So we do receive lots of information, lots of important information about the movements of Russian troops on the territory of Belarus. And taking all of that into account, it seems to me that war in Ukraine can be a perfect chance for Belarusians to become free from the Lukashenko's regime. Also, many of you have asked me that, and yes, there are lots of volunteers, Belarusians, who fight on the side of Ukraine. It was in 2014 and it is now. Lots of Belarusians escaped Lukashenko's regime in 2020, when many people suffered during this protest. And for me, it was a very depressing period, because we believed that they will manage to change the regime, as we did during Maidan, but they failed. And I think that now the situation can be changed back again, because with the death, either physical or political death of Putin, Lukashenko is also in danger. But today he started speaking for one of the Belarusian newspapers. It seems to me that he is definitely totally against nuclear war, and that he does not like these threats of Putin, that it goes against all the rules. And also he was a little bit ironic as for the special operation on the territory of Ukraine, because he said, I don't know how it all is going on, because maybe it's the way Putin says, or maybe it's a little bit out of the plan because it takes longer and it doesn't look that successful. So we see that Lukashenko, being a mad dictator but not that crazy as Putin, realizes that perhaps this war is a total failure and perhaps want to switch the sides. Of course, it's impossible, but this demonstrates another flaw in the strategy of Putin and his desire to reconstruct Soviet Union. And personally, I have this question to Belarusians too. How can you accept someone to be your president for 27 years? Even if this person is the best person on the world, he or she cannot stay on the position for 27 years, deciding everything in the country. And he's very authoritarian in his style. And for me, now he looks pretty funny. He reminds me of this policeman in old Soviet films with this mustache with a very weird hairdo. And when he wants to demonstrate again this image of macho playing hockey, always winning, and denying various things, starting from COVID and finishing war in Ukraine. And for me, one more funny thing was at the start of this war, when he was telling that Belarus has given its territories because Ukrainians were eager to attack, like we were ready to attack Russia, Belarus, all during one day, like super strong Ukrainians. And he was explaining that to his military leaders, and they were sitting at the table like schoolboys, and he was using a pointer. I was very much afraid that I have forgotten this word in English because, like, rarely do you use pointers, but he was using a pointer. And with the help of that pointer, he was demonstrating something on the map, which was hanging on the wall. I cannot imagine something similar in Pentagon or in Ukrainian army, because nowadays when you follow everything with the help of satellites, to stand with a pointer and with no computers around, with, I don't know, your mustache dyed in a black color, it all looks pretty funny. So for me, I don't know, how do you feel when you are run by such a person, when this person is both ridiculous and authoritative? Another thing that surprises me a lot about Lukashenko is his family life. It repeats the attitude of Putin, like when he is a macho and you know nothing about his family, you cannot find the pictures of Lukashenko's wife, you cannot learn who is the mother of his third son, Kolinka, that always follows his father. And to tell you the truth, when you look at the picture of that boy, I always feel sorry for him because he's everywhere with Lukashenko, and perhaps he did not have normal childhood. And of course, that all influenced his psychology, his behavior, I guess. It seems to me he disappeared after this protest. Maybe he went to Russia or elsewhere, but he was everywhere with his father. The world knows nothing about his mother. And this is very visible that Lukashenko perhaps wants to make this son, Kolinka, his successor. And for me, it is all very weird how people can accept that. I have been to Belarus once, and I have been to Minsk and to Brest, and these cities are clean, but you cannot take pictures in some locations because you're close to the President Palace or something else. And of course, people are speaking only Russian. And it is a true tragedy that less than 5%, it seems to me, of people in Belarus speak Belarusian. And many of my friends tell me that, those who have acquaintance in Belarus, that, for example, if you will use Belarusian actively and you will address police with a Belarusian letter or something, they will come and ask you why are you using this language. So even when Belarusians use Belarusian language on the territory of Belarus, there are questions. Perhaps Putin tries to persuade Lukashenko that those who speak Belarusian in Belarus are Nazis. Because why don't they want to speak Russian? Why do they need Belarusian? And we all know that the loss of one language is always a tragedy for the mankind, because every language is closely connected to its culture. When I listen to Belarusian, I like it a lot and I understand, I will say 98%. So I do hope that Belarus people will use this opportunity, and maybe the liberation of Ukraine will result in the wave of liberations for smaller post-Soviet countries that are less confident or less strong in their desire to be free, but who do not want to return back to the USSR past. Anyway, I do hope that Belarusian people will not join this Russian wave of hatred, and we will be able to preserve more or less normal relations and continue eating their ice cream, because like in Ukraine, many people believe that Belarusian ice cream is tastier, or milk, or whatever. To tell you the truth, I think this is just one of these marketing myths, but maybe. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for your subscriptions. And Slava Ukraini!